Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is my review of the Power Deck, The Cards of Wisdom by Lynn V. Andrews. If you enjoy this review and you want to see more stuff like this, think about subscribing to my channel or even checking out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. So let's talk about the Power Deck. So I'm going to start by talking about the guidebook before I get into the cards. So this deck was originally published, the first edition was published in 1991, and the second edition came out this year in 2019. So the guidebook is really good. It gives a lot of really good information about these cards. It's actually better than your average guidebook for that reason. There's a lot of info on how to work with these cards and there's card meanings, etc. It's actually recommended in this book to read through the book before you start working with the cards. And there's even 3 or 4 unique spreads in this book just for spreads that you can do with this deck. And then of course, each card, there's a picture of each card and there's a description. I found the descriptions a little redundant just because each card, for example, has the description on the back. So there's a little extra info on each card in the guidebook, but I don't feel like you need the guidebook to do readings with this deck just because the cards kind of have the meanings on them. Okay, so let's look at the cards. So I'm going to slowly go through this deck so that you get a real sense of this deck and what it's like. So there's 4, is there 4 or 5? No, there's 4 different categories. So there's yellow, there's red, there's black cards, white cards, and also there's more than one green card. Yeah, there's a few green cards. Okay, so each card has the description of the card on the back. And the art on the cards is by artist Rob Schuiten. And this is considered, it's not called an oracle deck, and this isn't the kind of, they're called Cards of Wisdom, and this isn't really the kind of deck that you would necessarily use to do readings on others. I feel like this is a really good deck for doing readings for yourself, especially readings that are like deeply personal, kind of spiritual readings. And I feel like this deck is very different from a lot of oracle decks I have. I feel like the images really invite contemplation. They invite you to just kind of stay a while and sit with the cards. What I noticed when I first went through this deck is that there are certain cards that jumped out at me. So this one is Flow, and so there's a description here of this card. And so one thing I noticed is that there were certain decks or certain cards that totally jumped out at me and just kind of, I had this like really strong reaction to some of the cards. Most of the cards I didn't have a strong reaction to, but some of them I was just like, wow, like that is really profound. I really want to look at this card for a long time. So I singled those cards out and I'll show them to you as I get to the end of the deck. Because I feel like the cards that you really respond to, I feel like that there's a message in there for you. There's a reason you're responding to that image so strongly. And I feel like this is a really good meditation deck. It's a good deck for, reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your life. I guess you're probably wondering what each of these cards mean, so I should be showing you the backs too. This one is imagination, and there's a message here about what it means. I find there's a lot of writing on the backs of these cards, and I think some people like to have a really good description of the card and what it's about. I'm more into just like a few words, so I kind of sometimes get caught up a little bit in the descriptions if there's too many words. So that's the only thing I would kind of complain about is that the descriptions are a little bit lengthy, but it just, I think, comes down to what your preference is. So as I said, this deck came out as a first edition in 1991. And according to the creator of this deck, Lynn Andrews, this second edition, which is the one I'm showing you, she said that there's new info about new ceremonies to do with the deck and the sacred visioning behind the cards. So the deck itself is no different from the first edition. That's kind of what I gathered from that. So I've been working with this deck. That's a neat one. A lot of the cards have like spheres, you know, like planets and moons and earths and stuff like that on them. And this is a neat one too. I like this card. So I've been working with this deck for almost 2 months now, and I find that it's a really neat deck to do like a 1-card draw. I don't use them every day because I find that the cards are actually very intense and the messages really they really beg to be sort of pondered for a while. I feel like this is just a very intense deck to do daily draws with. So I've been maybe using the deck about once a week, and I'll draw a card and read the description and then kind of contemplate that meaning and that theme in my life. And then sometimes I will display that card like on my desk or on my coffee table where I'm going to see it throughout the week. That's actually a really pretty one. I love how there's like a face here and the water is hair. This one is Dream. As you can see, the images really kind of invite meditation and pondering. These are the kinds of cards where you really want to like enter the card and just like, you know, live inside these cards and explore them. This is a neat one too, actually. I don't know if I'm going too slow for you or too fast for you. That one's really pretty. The message here is quickening. Okay, so here's the cards that really I had a huge reaction to. So this is the first one. There's something about this card. I don't know, it's so mysterious. It just makes me feel like there's some mystery to be solved here or something. And this is the card of Strength. So I feel like there must be some special message in this card just because I had this reaction to it. This is another card I really reacted to. There's something very, I don't know, it wasn't necessarily a positive reaction. There's something sad about this card to me. All these guys in a meeting. And this card is about individuality. This one really affected me. I don't know why. It was just this, the angle of the trees looking up. I really responded to that one. And then this one, which is actually the cover on the box. And I really like this one. It really spoke to me. And then this one, ooh, I love this one. It's like the ground is opening up and there's like a whole universe in the earth. I just found that really neat. And there's little deer in the background, and there's a guy in the background meditating. There's something so profound here. And this one is about intuition. I noticed I really liked a lot of the black cards. Those are the ones that I tend to be drawn to the most. And then this one here is Ecstasy. And then this one is just breathtaking. I just love, love, love this one. And this one is Silence. And I just found that one really, I don't know, just really special. And there's something so tranquil and peaceful about this card that I just want to stare at it for hours. Yeah, so a really unique deck. The cards are glossy. They're thick. They're really good quality. Like, this is a really durable deck, good quality card stock. And the guidebook, like I said, is very informative. It's a good guidebook. And the box that it comes in is quite lovely. So I'll show you what it looks like inside. So yeah, nice quality box as well. So this is a neat deck to have in your collection. This isn't the kind of deck that you would immediately start doing readings with necessarily. It's the kind of deck you want to learn a bit about, you want to get to know it. This is the kind of deck that really you need to spend some time with and you know, make it a regular part of your life before before you start getting amazing readings. I think it's one of those decks that you need to kind of take your time with and really get to know it, and it will be a rewarding kind of relationship, I'm sure. So yeah, a really cool deck to have in your collection and to work with in a spiritual way. And I hope you've enjoyed this review. You can find more reviews. And I think I should say where you can get this deck. I believe it's available on Amazon, and I will put links in the description of this video. So just below the video, I'll put links as to where you can learn more, where you can purchase these cards. And if you enjoyed this review, you can find more of these reviews on my website, dailytarotgirl.com, or on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for watching.